Marty is a woman who is really into her community, but doing things kind of her own way, like bringing her special individual self to her community. She is co-executive director of the community center and teaches a lot of the classes in the community center. And this class she's teaching is her first opportunity to teach an acting class to adults. And she is very excited about the opportunity.
I play James. He is the husband to Marty. You may have seen in another video. We are co-executive directors of the community center in Shirley, Vermont. And Marty's been pushing for a long time to do, and I even say this in my little monologue about Marty, that she's been pushing to do an adult drama class. But I think because it's a small town and it's an unknown thing, she doesn't get many takers, so James has to come in and be in the class as well. And this is something he's never done. He's maybe seen his wife do a class for kids, but he's never done it himself, so this is a totally new experience for him. And as you'll see when you come to see the show, it's quite profound, I think, for James to actually do this sort of acting, these acting exercises, if you will, because it's something, some part of him he's never explored before, and this brings out a lot of his personality and his past and all kinds of things you probably didn't want to know about him.
Schultz is he's a divorcee. This is his first acting class. Schultz, he's an awkward guy. He definitely doesn't have much in the way of boundaries, and that's a problem. Schultz is a very clingy person, and he I think he lets relationships define his life. They are who he is, and he runs into a problem with that with Theresa in the show, and things don't turn out too well.
I'm Theresa. I'm 35 years old. I lived in New York for a long time, and I always loved being an actress. But unfortunately, I feel like the nature of the way people are in New York, I just feel like I'm not connecting with people, and that's what I really want. And then I have this really bad boyfriend, Mark, who's very abusive, so I'm just kind of done with that city, and I'm looking for a new start. So I go to a small town where I think, maybe I can actually connect with people there. Maybe people are more down to earth, more open, and so I go to a small town, Vermont, and join this acting class, and it's very interesting. As far as acting experiences or exercises, I was at the Lee Strasberg, and there in New York City, I took some exercises, and that really helped me do these kind of method, abstract exercises you'll be seeing in this class in Vermont, sort of like exploding tag and circle mirror transformation. So.
I play Lauren, who is 16, and she is taking this class because she really, really wants to get cast as Maria in her high school's production of West Side Story this fall. And she has an interesting journey with the class, I think, where she isn't quite expecting the types of exercises that the class is doing, and she I think starts off pretty hesitant, but I think ultimately finds a sense of like pretty cool intergenerational community in the class. And I would say I found the same thing being in this play, which is cool.
We did not have the resources of Silver Spring Stage the last time that I did this play. I'm a little older and have some more to bring to Marty, I think, than I did the last time. And the direction that this this version of it has allowed me to explore some different things about Marty that I didn't explore the last time I played her.
Acting for 40, almost 50 years. I started out, I was in an English boys' school, and we were doing a production, the girls' school in town was doing a production of Franz Lehar's The Merry Widow, and they needed boys, because obviously girls' school needed boys to play the men's parts, and I was totally unprepared to come in. I played the cello at the time, so they took members of the orchestra, people who had some sort of musical background or whatever, and I played a part which had a solo singing part right at the beginning of the show. And here I'd never been on stage before, and I was supposed to be doing a toast, and they had a sort of a martini glass full of apple juice that I was supposed to be doing this toast for, and I was so nervous that the glass was going all over the place and apple juice was pouring down my arm. But I was bit by the acting bug really hard. So when I went to college, I changed my major from music to theater, and it's been unsmooth sailing ever since.
It is in how it tells, the way it depicts how these characters' personal lives affect what's going on in the class, and how all these little games that they play and everything like that, all these exercises kind of bring out the inner turmoil and almost a little bit of the subtext and what they're not saying, and it's just it's a really refreshing little slice of life.
This play is so funny because I think to theater people it will all be very familiar. If you have ever done milling and seating, or had to try to count to 10 as a group, I think this play will deeply resonate with you. I'm trying to think of like a funny acting class memory. There's just so many. I don't know. I mean, I think I remember a particular rehearsal for Marat Sade, where for an hour, we put imaginary boxes on a shelf for movement purposes. And I didn't love that, but I was very present.
High school theater class, we had to do sense memory recall exercises. This is not a method I use in my acting. It is not a method I did well with in that class. In fact, I did quite poorly in that class, and I remember thinking, well, maybe this isn't for me. But I guess Mr. White just didn't know what he was doing.